Hello, everybody, and welcome to my show. I am Tabletop Junkie, your host, and we are here to do reviews on tabletop games and RPGs and even systems alike. I do not discriminate. It's all TTRPGs to me, and that is what we are here to review. Today, I have a special guest that I will be inviting in, but before I do that, I would like to just take a minute and let you guys know today our review is going to be for the sandbox system, the Fate Core system, created by Evil Hat Productions. And you guys probably have seen some reviews on YouTube, but we're going to do one of our own. And hopefully, maybe people will be more comfortable about playing Fate Core because I think it's a really fun system to use, to create games with, to have settings with, and whatnot. And I brought a special guest today. His name is Toby. He's a great friend of mine and one of my hottest players that I can actually say is, he's always there for every game. So, to me, he's one of my hottest players and he's an honorary junkie with me. So he's going to be on the show today. So I'm going to invite him in real quick and we're going to have him talk about himself for just a brief moment.
Hey, didn't know I was talking about myself, but hi everybody. I'm Toby. I play in a lot of tabletop games and happy to be here.
All right. Well, I'm happy to have you. As I stated, he's my honorary junkie. So, because he's a junkie just like me, we love tabletops and we play every week. Mm-hmm. Hell, if we had more time, we'd probably play twice a week or three times.
If I had more time, I'd play every day. Come on now.
Who doesn't love to go slay a dragon in their minds? I swear, I tell you. So, all right. So to just get the show started here real quick, we're going to go over some things with Fate Core, such as the pros, the cons, the dislikes, the likes, and just an overall review about what we think about the system. But we're going to be doing it in a lot of pieces because with Fate Core, there's a lot of components too. And believe it or not, it's not as drastic as D20, but it is still, a bit, I don't know, just got a lot of stuff there. So a lot of information. So the very first thing I do want to talk about is what is Fate Core exactly. And, I'm going to sum it up with 3 bullets. Fate Core is a setting neutral system that is very, very easy to get along with. And it's actually, you mold the rules. You're given a rule set that you can mold and bend. It's easy to learn, and you can create a game quick on the fly. And for me, that is just sometimes, especially when you're super busy and the week's going on, and you're like, oh man, I gotta get session 0 going. Almost said section 0. Don't know anything about that. Don't know anything about that.
Sure you don't.
We're talking about session 0 for anyone's game. Is
whatever you say, tabletop, whatever you say.
Quiet, Toby. Question: how did you feel about the 3rd Spider-Man movie being a failed experiment? Oh wait, you're the wrong Toby. Never mind.
You know what?
Oh yeah, we just gotta crack jokes. So to basically start everything on the fly here, like I said, quick on the fly, session 0, and you're like, man, I really want a game. I don't want to deal with character creation. Guess what? Character creation takes no more than 30 minutes in this system.
Baby. My speaker.
Sorry about that. I had someone talking to me in the background. I don't know why. You're just weird, I could have swore someone else was in this room with me. Anyway, as I was saying, session 0. You can also give me, give me 1 second. Toby, why don't you take it over for just a brief moment and tell them a bit about Fate Core and about your personal uses not personal uses, your personal opinions.
So I really like the system. It's very open it's an open sandbox, so you can run just about any game or any universe within the game. It's your imagination is the limit, and it's simple, it's easy, it's just a lot of fun. I played a lot of games with tabletop in it. We've played Star Trek, we've played a zombie apocalypse, we've played Star Wars. We've played a homebrew game of his. It's just a lot of fun. That's all I really got to say. Yeah. Gosh, it's relatively easy to roll the dice. The outcomes are easy. What's it called? The skills are very helpful depending on how you wish to make your character. It's just a really good system overall.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to excuse myself for a moment. I had a technical issue going on. Toby, that was a great opinion statement. As I stated before, my own personal opinion about it is just great on the fly when you're like super busy. It's just great and easy to get, so that way you're not dealing with character creation on one day and then you never get to play, because you know what? In some cases, with a lot of games, you have that problem. To where you have to plan everything out, and it takes weeks on end, but not with Fate Core.
No.
So not with Fate Core. So, all right. So we're going to be moving on to some of the aspects of Fate Core, starting with the basics. Okay, so to get started with any Fate game, you're just going to need the following: character sheet, Fate dice, or D6s, and the book. If you actually have the book, and I do recommend anyone who wants to get into Fate Core, you get the book from Evil Hat Productions, Drive-Thru RPG. I do recommend, and in supporting the company by actually buying the book too. I actually have a hard copy and a PDF copy, and I freaking love it. And in the book, it actually has to translate from the D6s. Like if you roll like a 1 or a 2, that's a minus, because you don't deal with numbers in Fate Core. You deal with plus, minuses, literally the dash and the plus sign and a blank side. And the book actually tells you how to do that. Like the plus and the minuses cancel each other out. And then all you add up is what doesn't cancel each other out. So if you get 2 minuses on a dice roll, that's a -2. If you get nothing else that cancels anything out. The blanks don't cancel anything else at all. Those just go away. So if you get like a plus, 2 minuses, and a blank, well, 1 plus and 1 minus cancel each other out, and the blank doesn't count, leaving you a -1. See how easy that is? And the book actually goes into a bit more detail about if you don't have Fate dice, and honestly, in some areas, Fate dice isn't really, I've had trouble locating them. Most of my Fate dice come from the internet. So another thing that I do recommend, in case you don't want to deal with dice, is the Deck of Fate. It's alternative to dice. That's pretty much got everything you could. It's 50. I think it's 52 cards or 50 cards. I don't really have the Deck of Fate, but I actually want it just in case I don't want to roll dice. And then you're going to need tokens of some kind. I personally use, when I'm not streaming, when I'm not on the internet with Toby over here, I personally use for live people, easiest thing to do, because you can get Fate tokens off Evil Hat Productions website as well, but I like to use poker chips because you can find those anywhere, and you can get poker chips at any store almost, so I like to use those. Plus you get like more than you'll ever need. And another thing that always comes in handy is index cards. Very handy, especially when recording aspects for the game, situational aspects, boosts, and you give things names and invocations. Very optional. So, any thoughts on that there, Toby?
I think you just about covered it. That sounds pretty good. It's
awesome. All right.
Solid.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next thing, because after dealing with the basics, the very first thing that anyone ever has to deal with, that you need to know what you're dealing with, is aspects. Aspects are phrases that describe some significant detail about a character. They are reasons why the character matters, what their interests are, who is this character in this game. And aspects can be a wide range of elements such as personality, traits, beliefs, relationships, issues, problems. Let's not go with problems, because we got some more of those later on down the road.
High aspect and low aspect.
Well, it's a high concept and a trouble, but we'll talk more about that in a minute.
You know what I meant.
No, I know what you meant, but I got it.
It's been like 3 months since we've played the Fate Core.
I know, right? We're probably going to get back to it. We've got a couple Fate games that we created, such as, what was it? One Last Thing, which you never did get to participate in that yet, but we're actually doing a live thing of One Last Thing. And let's see.
There was Star Trek.
Did we do a Fate Core version of Star Trek?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? You sure it's not?
That's how
Sure
we
wasn't.
ran the Star Trek game.
That was actually Star Trek Adventures by Modiphius. That wasn't Fate Core. That was 2D20. Are you talking about Star Wars?
So, no, I wasn't, because Star Wars was a different one I was going into. The next one was going to be Star Wars.
Okay.
And then the other one was going to be the zombie game. I forgot that the Star Trek game was in a Fate Core game.
We played a lot of games. It's easy to get easily confused. Very easily confused.
Yeah.
So, all right. So just moving into our next topic of discussion regarding aspects is the type of aspects that we have. There are many different types. The main types are the game aspects, the character aspects, the situational aspects, the boosts, and the consequences. Now, those are the 5 main ones. There are more, such as the character aspects. You get multiple character aspects, such as the high concept, the trouble, and then you get something you call free aspects. Generally, most character sheets, most characters, and it's also written on the character sheet, most characters don't get no more than 5 aspects: a high concept, a trouble, and 3 free aspects that they can just do whatever they want with. That's up to them.
It's fun.
We've had a lot of fun. We made some characters up. The zombie game was actually the zombie game was the more fun one that we ever had a pleasure in doing.
It was one of the best. It was hey, I'm just gonna go do this now. Can you? Oh yeah, I can.
Well, we had some fun with that one. So I will have to say we'll have to probably go back to that at some point too. But a lot of games, man. A lot of games. I wish we could play all day.
Yeah.
But people have to work.
Yeah, I know. In the perfect universe.
Yeah, in the perfect universe, we would never have to work. But
that's what I'm saying. We wouldn't have to work and we could play all day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. So
wait, that was called childhood.
I know. We grew out that already, didn't we? I'm way older than you, but we're not gonna discuss ages right now because I'm an old man, very old man. But anyway. So we're going to go with our biggest topic of discussion right now is going to be the character aspects. Character aspects are just as pertinent, but smaller in scope, attached to an individual PC or NPC. But they can describe a near infinite number of things with characters such as personality traits, beliefs, background.
You're cutting out a little bit, Tabletop.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me adjust my thing real quick. Possessions or features, relationships.
You're sounding a little staticky.
Okay, something. Hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. Let me see.
Take your time, man.
Toby.
Yes. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that better?
Yes, much better. Hey,
okay.
At least we can't blame it on Discord this time.
Oh, you don't even get me started with that. I still blame it on everything else. You should have been at the last game, dude. A lot of things. Yeah, it was bad. We lost connection like 3 times.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So as I was stating, possession, noticeable features, relationships to peoples or organizations, problems or goals, title, you guys get the point. A wide variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I had a whole list for that I didn't get to go through them all.
You still can.
No, that's just a waste of time. People get the idea. So what can aspects do? Well, aspects can be invoke or call for a compel on any character aspects whenever they are relevant. GMs can always propose a compel to any PC, and players can suggest compels for other people's characters, but GM gets final say, of course. Now, the question that everyone's going to ask, what the hell is an invoke or a compel? Well, for instance, an invoke is something where either you spend a fate point, or if you can find a reason that you shouldn't have to spend any money, or in this case, a fate point. That's not really money in Fate Core, but it's the fate points, which we'll discuss later on, are very much used to help invoke or compel PC's aspects, especially if they're relevant to a situation. For instance, Toby's obsessive compulsive issues with watching TV through a window because for some reason in the game that he's playing in, it's like the 1980s where people were premiering TVs in the windows, and he has to sit there and watch every single TV, which is like 20 stacked on each other, big old boom tubes, stacked on each other. He has to stop for a moment and marvel at that. And that's because the GM, which is me, compelled him to do it and gave him a fate point.
Ooh, pretty shiny television.
Yeah, right, until you kind of had gunfire going out behind your head, and for some reason, the mob's after you.
Run, Forrest, run.
Life's crazy. Life's crazy. Let me tell you about that. So, all right. So, I guess to get into, did you have any thoughts regarding anything we've talked about so far?
I just say that the aspects can also be called on by the players as well for the aspect. Because I know in one of our games, and it was a Fate Core game, we only played it like twice or maybe 4 times. It was an Eldritch Horror, and I pulled upon my aspects once, and it was the Haunted Past. I'm like, could I use this aspect to get a better roll, or can I use this aspect to do something else? And yeah, players can call upon them too.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then players can call upon other player stuff, player stuff as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we've really had too much of that.
No, we haven't.
No, that is something
that does happen.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have to. That is one thing we're going to have to, when we get ready to do a demonstration, because I do plan after this review to do a demonstration, we are going to have to play more into that and make sure we cover all these aspects of what we're talking about so people can understand when it's relevant and when it's not. So, all right. So the next important thing to discussion is about aspects is they hold two major things about aspects. They tell you what's important about the game, and they help you decide when they use the mechanics, which I think we just covered that in a sense, because we were just talking about when aspects are relevant. That's between the GM and all the players, and that's even between two, that could even be between 2 players, but if the GM has to intervene for whatever reason, they can.
Yep.
So, all right. Next thing of the, so like I said, there's 3 types of character aspects. A high concept, which high concept is a phrase that sums up what the character is about and who he is or she and what they do. It's an aspect, one of first and the most important one for your character, and is not very easily changed. You can change. There is a point in the game you can change your high concept if you think it's not relevant, but you actually have to reach a thing called milestones, which we will talk at a later time. A good example of a character's high concept is one I do have here, especially if you're trying to be a thief in the world, is an overly compulsive, disordered sociopath. That's who the character is. They've got a lot of issues going on, but they're sociopathic and they love to steal stuff. So,
I'm pulling up some of our old games, so I can't.
I was going to say, would you like to share some of the high concepts you come up with there?
Of course. I just got to launch the game. I'm going to Fate of the Dead, our zombie game. Let's go to, where is he at? All right, my zombie slayer's high concept was a realistic hero complex, and his trouble was that he was shy.
Oh, that's his trouble. We haven't made it to the trouble yet.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Some other high concept examples is lead detective, ambitious low level thug, or wizard private eye. I would say those are actually probably directly from the book. So, but you will see that in the book as well if you go through the the chapter of aspects and the actual Fate Core system book, which is the only thing we're covering here today. And we will be covering more stuff going into the future regarding Fate Core because there's been so much added to it since this book came out. But once again, very highly recommended. So the next type of character aspect that is also very important. They're all important in the end, but the top 2 most important is the high concept, which we just covered, and the trouble. And the trouble is, so this is what brings chaos to the character's life and is basically a struggle or problematic situation that they have to deal with on a daily basis, which means almost every game they should be having an issue with it. They should be having an issue that they have to struggle with. One good reason is a character being emotionally detached, or they're a bit of a kleptomania, which means every time they walk into a freaking store, regardless if it's a general store, store with merchandise, or a store where they just got to get milk but they don't have enough cash to pay for it, they just end up sneaking the milk underneath their shirt. We call that a deceive.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you did have a couple troubles that you'd like to share.
The one for the one I already said one was that one of my character's troubles was shy, and then I have one more because I was looking at our old games, and I think I can only find 2 of them that were Fate Core, and the other one is from our hero game that has been on pause for a little bit.
Yeah, because I only got I wanted to get a team of superheroes, and I guess the closest thing I get to a team is like 2 people.
Hey,
I had like 6 people altogether, but they all like dropped out or some crap.
So for my trouble for my superheroes, one is technically he has 2. I think. Well, no, I don't think that was.
Well,
that's not a trouble. It was another one of the aspects. Sorry, his trouble was that everyone he ever loved or cared about is dead, which that's is like lone survivor sort of trouble. It's the oh no, everyone's dead.
That is just dark. What game was that for again?
The superhero, where because my character was immortal and had lived through the ages.
Okay. I gotta really look through that because I don't remember it being that dark.
It was.
Okay, all right.
Well, his high concept was that the shepherd of humanity wanting the best for everyone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But it was that
you had an awesome fight in there too. Like your character got blown through a couple walls, doors. You guys had a huge fight. He broke some of your limbs. You broke some of his limbs.
We had a fight in a mental in our minds, which was awesome.
Yeah, paralyzing, right?
Paralyzing, yes.
Very paralyzing.
What's the word? It's not lobotomizing, but it's like it was like a lobotomy.
No. You did lobotomize the guy because he was knocked down. You lobotomized him. Well, you wanted to make sure he couldn't get up and use anything against you. I mean, because he was strong. Even though you had magic, you were still strong. He was still strong against you, and I don't think your character really liked that too much.
No, it was the fact that he could mess with my character's mind, and my character knew things that no one else needed to know. And it's I can't let you use your mind anymore. You're too dangerous to be left alive.
Which, a lot of I don't know if there was anything like that in actual comic books. I was trying to keep it towards the comic book realm, but you had a very good point with that one because he was very strong, and he was trying to collect on people with powers for whatever reason. We never uncovered that secret yet. That we got to get back to that at some point.
My character was saying like, "Yeah, I'm willing to work with you, but I want to do it on my own terms," and he was like, "No, you have to do this." I'm like, "Okay, that's not how this is gonna work."
do things my way.
Mm-hmm.
Do things my way.
Yep.
All right, moving on to our next thing.
No.
All right, so we covered a high concept and a trouble. Now next is our free aspects, and our free aspects are basically the start of the next part of the character creation, which is called the phase trio, which is my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love hearing about people's characters and all that stuff, but I like to see how they intertwine with each other because you got to make sure all these characters work together before they all start killing each other.
Yeah.
How often does that happen? So with the phase trio, you have moving on. All right, so
zombie game got wild.
Well, it didn't help that we had a player that went into a restaurant and blew it up. Oh, and not only that, the party separated. I had to run scenes for 2 different groups. That was once one group.
Yeah. That's why you don't split the party, but sometimes the party has to split up because it won't work.
One was going south, one was going north.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it didn't help. I put you guys in the middle of Chicago, which at the time Chicago said was have over, a few million people, So it's like you're trying to think there's an army horde of undead that we cannot beat. We out.
Pretty much.
So, all right. So to get into the phase trio, the phase trio is exactly how it is, except it, says trio by it, but it's called but it's basically a three-phase process. Phase 1 describes your character's first adventure, which is, could be solo. And then on their first adventure, they could meet one of the other players. The phase 2 describes how you cross paths with another character as well. And then the phase 3 describes how you cross paths with another character. Now, this works only in conjunction if you got 3 players, I think. But if you get more than 3 players, you may have to find some way to group all that together.
Because normally how I've seen you do it is that you do them all that in one session. So you focus on one person, then to another, but then you bring those 2 people together, or you bring the group together slowly, and then at the end of the session, we've made a little team, and then we wait for session 2.
Yeah. Well, I did it like that because I like the 30-second character creation, which we will discuss that at a later time as well, because that's also part of this. But yeah, there is a regular character creation and something you call 30-second character creation, which is the bare minimum. You actually don't need to have a fully fledged character just a game. You can find out certain things during the game too, and it's actually that's what makes Fate Core so great. You can just draw something up and be like, yay, we're in here. I mean, how else do you beat that? I mean, come on.
I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, because most of my characters, because we haven't gotten to it yet, but there's certain things that I normally don't pick for my characters until we're in the game, and you'll know about what I'm talking about when we get there.
Oh, yeah. When we get to that point, which we're not to that point yet.
No.
We're just to the next chapter here. We're just to the next part here where we're talking about game aspects, which game aspects are tournament fixtures. Yeah, oh, yeah. Which game aspects are tournament fixtures of the game, hence the name. They might be changed over time, but they're never going to go away. And these are defined. I got to go for just a brief moment. I do apologize. Toby, could you explain a little bit about game aspects from your point of view?
From a player's point of view. Okay.
Yep. Give them a player's point of view. Hang on. I got to check on something. I do apologize.
No, you're good. So from a player's point of view, a game aspect is something similar to your high concept and your trouble, because those are both aspects as well, but those aspects never really change. These aspects can change, or you can sometimes you can replace these aspects for another one. For example, I have to pull it up. Give me one moment. I'm going back to the zombie game as a reference, because I had more aspects in that one than I did in the superhero game. So in that game, my character was a retired Navy SEAL who was working within the city of Chicago. And he, so one of his aspects was that he is a former Navy SEAL, and his teammates with his teammates, so he could call upon that aspect and attempt to see if he can't get to see where his teammates are, and then call upon them and see if they can't come and help him out in a situation. Another aspect that he had, because your aspects can help and hinder you. One of my aspects that did that was not comfortable out of my element, and his element was scoped weapons in melee combat. And that I got that aspect because there was about 5 times in a row in one game where I missed a shot using a simple handheld pistol. But whenever my character shot with a ranged weapon, such as scoped weapons, or I used a melee weapon, I always hit my mark. So Tabletop was like, hey, I'm giving you an aspect. You're not comfortable out of your element. So I'm like, perfect. So I gain a benefit when I'm in my element, and I gain a disadvantage when I'm not in my element. And those are some aspects. Another aspect that I had in the superhero game was bad performer, because he used magic a lot. So to make money, he would be a street performer. But whenever I tried to do it, I didn't succeed. And so I gained the aspect of bad performer. Another aspect I got was
hang on, Toby. I'm gonna steer the conversation around for just a moment because I was talking about like the game aspects. Like, do you remember the time that I had index cards placed on the game table? Like talking about the zombie virus and how quickly it spread. And
sorry, I thought you were talking about character aspects. My bad.
Well, no, but I'm kind of glad we did go a bit more in detail so people can get an idea of aspects, because aspects can be kind of intimidating, especially if you're a new character or a new player. Due to certain circumstances at the moment, I actually have to cut this short. I will have to leave. So unfortunately, it was unexpected, but I ended up just getting notification I have to be elsewhere right now, which was not a thing until just like 2 minutes ago. And I was like, so it's a bit of an emergency. So I have to actually peel out in real life. And so I wanted to just take this time just to say our salutations to everybody. We will, when we pick this game up, when we pick up this topic again, when we pick the stream back up, we will pick it up again. We're going to start with game aspects once again, and then we'll move down the table from there. So I had to... So Toby, take a minute, and why don't you state your name and say yourself a bit, and then I will do the same, and then we'll depart.
Can you do it first? Because I don't know what you mean by that.
All right, so I will be the first one to sell myself. Well, my name is Tabletop Junkie, and I'm here to bring you all the latest reviews on, well, not the latest reviews, bring my own personal review on Tabletop, and with my guest star over here, Mr. Toby. And no, I had to pick on him because of his name last time. So I do ask you, if you do see this and you do like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. We will have more coming up in the near future. We will be picking up Fate Core on the next one. And we'll be starting with game aspects. And I will be leaving that in the description.
Yep.
All right, Toby.
Hi, I'm Toby. I'm a good friend of Tabletop. It's a pleasure to be here. I love talking about these things. I love playing these games, and I'm happy to help a friend. Back to you.
Very good, Toby. Very good. Well, once again, I do apologize. I planned on this being at least an hour and a half stream. Unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, I have to peel out of here. But we will be picking this up again, and Toby will be back with us again too. Won't you, Toby?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You're an honorary junkie, or you're my partner in crime. However you want to do that.
I like partner in crime.
Aspects, man. Aspects. All right. Well, this is out to all the tabletop people out there who like to play tabletop. If you think you're playing too much tabletop, I'm going to tell you guys something right now. No such thing. That is what the man wants you to know. That's what married men's wives tell them. Man, aren't you gaming too much? Nah. If you are a tabletop lover, there's no such thing as too much gaming. Play hard, game hard, stream hard. This is Tabletop Junkie signing off and leaving you with a tabletop salute. Have a great and wonderful week, everyone.
Bye.